What's poppin', everybody? What it look like? Give me 1 second. What's poppin', everybody? What's going on? We in the building today. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Slum, salute. DJ Suge Bryan, salute. Fat, salute. Vincent Rodriguez, salute. Bloody Miss DMG, salute. Christopher Solis, salute. Bank Young Gun, salute. Who else is up in here? Ray Leon Rivera, salute. Eli Delgado, salute. Kate Quinn, salute. Ray, salute. 4D2 TV, salute. J.E. Moneybags in the building, Pretty Black, salute. Yeah, man. I was studying this. On these islands around New York City. You know what I'm saying? Because they got it where they was thinking they overpopulating dead bodies on one of the islands and all that. So, last night I sat there and watched maybe about 6 or 7, maybe 8 documentaries on those islands. This one of those islands is actually purchased. But the problem with one of those islands, and I'm going to show you in a minute, is that at nighttime, when the tide is high, the whole island is underwater. What that dude bought that island for, I don't really understand, but he might have another plan for it. Maybe he might build on it and make it higher. I don't know. I do know. Sincere Jones, salute. Yeah, they say that. Yeah, I agree with you too. J.E. Moneybags, but they say that those islands are inhabitable, so you're not even allowed to go on those islands. If they see a boat or anything go by them islands, I think they said that people go on those islands at nighttime. That's if the police don't catch them, because they got the police going up and down those waters. Oh, for facts. Shout out Fred Godson, man. I hope he gets better, man. You know what I mean? Get better soon, Fred the Godson. I rap 152. Salute. So before I even go into that, I was looking at a live earlier. Yeah, salute, Jonathan Nevy. I was looking at a live earlier where I saw a dude saying that he had chicks that pulled out on him. Yo, son said he had chicks that pulled out on him. And he was saying that women beef, men fight. This is from an individual that did time in prison for assaulting a female. That's what he was in jail for, beating up a female. And then peeping through her windows. Like, what the hell is that? And then you go on the live and you talk about, like You must have been a real little dude. I mean, he is a little dude, but you gotta be a real little dude, man. You got chicks pulling out on you, trying to beat you up in your sleep and all that. That ain't something you put on the internet, y'all. That is not something that you put on the internet. No, sir. And then I'm looking in the chat. And when I'm looking in the chat, I see people when they're like, yeah. And I'm saying to myself, yo, what type of dudes is in that chat? They must have a bunch of pedophiles, rapo, beating up women. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. How can you get on a live and say that? So, yo, I was sleeping, so they pulled out the hammer on me while I was asleep. Yo, what kind of bozo ass chicks you was dealing with? But here's the strange thing. Is that true? Because Shorty from upstate, she ain't pull no hammer out on you, son. You just beat Flemical flames out of her. And even when she put the order of protection, you went back and beat her up again. So that don't look like somebody that's going to be pulling out any hammers on you, bro. See, now you're getting careless. Now you just saying, well, I wouldn't say it's careless. I'm going to just say that some people's behavior is uncontrollable. You know what I'm saying? Some people's behavior is uncontrollable. Salute from the 410 to the 360, from the 561 to the 509. Salute. Yeah, Ray, it's crazy, bro. I was actually doing the number 2, and you know I was checking my page and whatever, and the thing comes on, bing. So I'm like, all right. And as I'm there, Lucifer Brim, salute. Patrick Caruther, salute. So as I'm looking at the joint, this dude really went up there and was like, yo, people talk about beating up women, where women beef, men fight. Well, you contradicted yourself in that same sentence, because you talk about that you had women that ate beef. They was pulling out on you. They said, yo, I'm gonna shoot this little dude, little nasty black dude. It's crazy, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you get on a live and even say something like that? That's how you know dudes don't think. Or is it that they don't think? Fact, Lucifer Brim, yo, they had me in the job. Bro. Remember yesterday I was going to try to take that 5-6 day off. Man, listen, that's what happens when you have all the certifications. He good. He came through the other day. I think he was feeling a little, down and sick, you know what I'm saying? But I think he's good, man. He's gonna pop in on Bang Young Guns. HMC said we handed out some franks today for a Friday special, 2 for 1. Really, I'm not even gonna really waste my time on them individuals no more, because now everybody is starting to see it. You know what I'm saying? I already think I did enough to show. Now you gotta let them act and let them show. Fact. Shout out to Church Ave Dan. He be coming through to watch back Young Guns. You see what I'm saying? Can't even waste your time with them dudes. I saw like 2 fake Ladybug profiles already. They're making up profiles. Next thing you know, they're gonna try to say that that's Ladybug. But I saw the picture on the profile. Nowhere near what Ladybug looks like. So they're making up fake ladybug profiles. Look, this is how you know when you pull somebody's skirt and they feel uncomfortable in their own skin. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel comfortable in their own skin. That's a fact, HFC 300. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't feel comfortable in their own skin. So they go out on the internet and lash. You had the other dude was telling like crazy. Nike check, and yo, that bird was telling like crazy on the live. That dude was on there talking about hammers under the crib and all kinds of y'all. I'm telling you. Is there more I need to do? The only one that counts is the real people. Because this is the stuff the real people need to see. The other people I could care less about. Word. Yo. Salute, Felicia Cortez. That's a fact, young guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes is like Buffalo, New York in the building. Salute, Michael Wary. Yo, E Dizzle. Salute, E Dizzle in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Like, these dudes continue. You know what I'm saying? So, they say they don't make memes and all this other stuff. They say they don't do none of that. They don't make memes. They don't do none of that. See, me, look, I tell everybody like this. None of them dudes is serious, man. And when I say serious, even on their maddest day, they ain't about nothing. They soft. They need to understand that. They need to stop trying so hard to impress other people and make them think that they tough. They soft. They're like Jello. They still shaking in their boots. No, but that, yo, like I said, man, for a dude to go on a live, for Amy to go on the live and say that he was fighting with chicks, that chicks were pulling out hammers on him. Like, yo, you don't feel ashamed to say something like that? Facts, Pilato. You don't feel ashamed? Got no shame. That's how you know these dudes are some lemon dudes, man. And I know some gangster females. But they know. When it came to the cat, Yeah, he was showing groceries, Michael Wary. Yo, Michael Wary. So the dude goes in front of a crib that ain't got no number on the crib. Then he's pulling out some kid's sodas. Yo, the dude is pulling out some kid's sodas from the back of the whip that the dude bought him. It's crazy, yo. You can't make this stuff up. Dudes is pulling out sodas from the back of the car. Say, yo, this is what I went. I just went and bought some sodas. They go in front of a crib where they got the house has no number. They online on the internet talking about, yo, I know where you at, this, that, and the third. What are you talking about, bro? Who said anybody cared? If you did or didn't. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, dudes done got caught up in their own creation that they can't escape. Taking sodas into a trap house. That's a fact, Lambu Gully Boy Revolution. Like, They're dry now. That's basically what happened. They're dry. Yeah, then they got a troll. They talking about dudes who's doing interviews, and they doing interviews with trolls. I'd rather talk in the mirror and answer my own questions than do an interview with a troll. Know what I'm saying? So let me see. That's enough with that, man. Let's go on to bigger and better things. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody's starting to see now. The more they come, the lesser I got, the more I can pull back. When they start to pull back, that's when I gotta come. So as long as they keep coming, it's good for me. Because what happens is that everybody gets to see. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets to see the truth. Nope. I ain't had no shorty pull out no ratchet on me. No. And if one did, I would never say it on the internet. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. I ain't shoot nobody in the leg, none of that. Stab nobody, nope. Female? Oh, hell no. That's a pattern. That's a pattern. That's showing you that when the person was a young kid, he was getting beat up by chicks. That's where remember, for every psychosis, there's an essence. So if somebody just continuously on attacks women, it only tells you that it had to come from somewhere. There it is. All right, Pistol Game. Hit me in my DM on Instagram. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Patrick Caruthers? Like, it shows you the essence. There was an essence to the problem while this individual continues on to abuse women and do weird things. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember. That's a fact, Pilato. Once they can't talk about me no more, their channels are going to fail. But here's the thing. The thing over there is that they recycle their own followers. I saw one of they lives where the dude had 10 comments, but 6 of them was from the same person. Yo, it's serious, bro. Serious, man. Yeah, man, he abused older women, man. You know what it is? You know how serious that is? I was watching a couple of Me Too movements videos the other day. You know, because I heard my check got through to them to the Me Too movement. But I gotta wait till later to find out. Matter of fact, later on, we got a surprise interview. We got a surprise interview later on. So stay tuned. But later on, we got a surprise interview. You know what I'm saying? It's time to put the nail in the coffin, you heard? And like I said, I don't make things up. I don't look things up, cut, paste, and all that other stuff. I don't do none of that. Straight, it has to be straight factual, so why not hear from the person's mouth? Greetings, Mike Check. Greetings, Mike Check. Dudes are going to learn to stop playing. They're not good individuals. They got too many skeletons in their closet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Respect, White Bull Terrier. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my block. That was a fact. 129. Yeah, that's a fact. That was my block, man. You know, who wants to be the heavyweight champion of the bearing MM? Yo, Mike Check, man. This interview that we got coming up. G. Birch, blessings. You're gonna learn to stop playing. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today to stop playing. But I had something I wanted to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's not utilize all our time on the net drama. Because like I said, it's net drama. These dudes ain't physically prepared for no battle. Facts, you be all right. Salute. The virus got everything on lockdown. Ain't nothing happening. And when you go on the internet and you promote stuff, you invite the police. I'm a law-abiding citizen, man, who commits no crimes, man. That's who I am. Call it lame, call it whatever you want. I work my hours at my job. I pay my taxes, and that's it. I don't indulge in illegal activities. I don't be around people who indulge in illegal activities. I don't do none of that. This is what I do. From work, I come here, do my lives, I help the peoples, and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, before we go into the topic of today's matter, I just had to send you something, man. You got to see this. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Can somebody tell me what the hell is that? Do you see the neck? Bro, we over here throwing francs and we didn't even realize that somebody stole the rolls. Look at the neck. Yo, let me tell you something, man. The dude's name was Gary before he turned to Miss Playful. Gary Schoenbeck. Yo, dude's big homies, that's what they messing with. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, yo, what is going on right here? You heard? That's when you know. Yo, that's when you know. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Yo, got the KD net, son. We over here throwing francs in the chat, and I blame all of us for that. Someone wasn't paying attention, and we got robbed for the rolls. But I found them. I found the rolls. What is that? Yo, is that what people have been doing out here all these years that they've been free? Is that what they've been doing? Interesting. Ain't it? Right? Ain't it interesting? Hey yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Yo, listen here. Yo, did you see it, Mic check? Look. And we're going down aisle 6, and on your left hand side, we got the hot dog rolls. Hey. Yo. Yo, who the hell is? I'm telling you, his name was Gary. Yo, these dudes is crazy, yo. The internet has got them. Oh, yes. Yes, you'll be all right. Remember when Nas said on Ether, you seem to be only concerned with dissing women. Were you abused as a child, scared to smile? They called you ugly? Mm-hmm. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was, bro. So everybody meet Gary. Say hi to Gary. Oh, man. Hey, yo. Fire bun. Yo, E-Dog. Them deal with the no thing, you know. Them man not like women. Them beat women, but they love other man. Hey, yo, everybody say hello to Gary. Gary Gunu. You know what I'm saying? Gary Gunu. You know him? You know him, G Birch? Gary's getting franked. Hey, yo, it's crazy, man. Yo, that's Nike Check Wifey. That's who he gets his bread from. That's the OG from the Hybrid Nation. Yeah. That's OG. The big homie. It's crazy, bro. Young kids out there, man. Young kids out there, man. Leave the gangs alone, man. Find where the real ones is at. Be careful. Elmira in the building. Salute Elmira. That's a fact. Upstate. You see? Unlike other people, I ain't get run out of upstate towns, bro. They love me up here. Some people can't go back to Elmira. They called a bad decision. But yo, Sam Dubs, you need to find, yeah, I'll find it. Trust me. If there's anything I'm good at, is legal research. Mm-hmm. Who's better stop? But yo, check it, man. Also, let's get on some real stuff now. How many of y'all studied any islands yesterday? Well, in case y'all didn't, because we did, I wanted to show y'all something that Very interesting right here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Alvin Williams said Gary plus hybrid equals Gabriel. That is a fact, yo. Like, what is that? But yo, check this out. I want y'all to check this out right here because I looked at this yesterday, and this brought a lot of things to light to me.
In my last video, we talked about New York City's most popular smaller islands. Now, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I've made it easy for you and included the link below. In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the lesser known islands, the more obscure, deserted, inaccessible, and the tiniest of islands that are a part of this great archipelago we call New York City. So without further ado, here are 13 islands you probably didn't know about in New York City. Number 1, Mill Rock. This is a tiny little island sitting in the East River between Queens, Manhattan, and Randall's Island. What you may find hard to believe is that as tiny as it is, it was even tinier. Mill Rock is actually a combination of 3 teeny tiny islands brought together to create one single tiny island. The islands Great Mill Rock and Little Mill Rock were joined together in the late 1800s through the detonation of a neighboring island called Flood Rock. The remnants from Flood Rock were used to fill the space between the Great and Little Mill Rocks, thus producing the Greater Mill Rock we have today. Mill Rock got its name from its 18th century owner who had once built the mill on one of the islands. The island has not been used since the 1960s, and the city of New York has allowed its landscape to return to its natural state. Today, Mill Rock is closed off to the public, and only a family of birds have the privilege to visit. Number 2, Belmont Island. Another sad, lonely little island sitting out in the East River. This one just below Roosevelt Island between the United Nations in Manhattan and Long Island City. Belmont Island is a small man-made island created during the construction of the Steinway Tunnel in the 1890s. This is the underwater subway tunnel that the 7 train shoots through from Manhattan to Queens. The island itself is made up of landfill from the excavated tunnel. In the 1970s, a peace-seeking group from the UN leased the island from the state and renamed it after the former Burmese UN Secretary General U Thant. So in case you ever hear anyone mention U Thant Island, know that they're just talking about Belmont Island. Belmont Island, otherwise known as You Can't Island, is off limits to the public. So don't be getting any crazy picnicking ideas now. It's just another one of those tiny islands strictly reserved for the birds. Number 3, Shooter's Island. Shooter's Island is a tiny island that sits off the shores of northern Staten Island in the Newark Bay. It actually sits directly on the border of New York and New Jersey. Therefore, New York owns the lower part of the island, while New Jersey owns the upper tip. Back in the day, it was a place for hunting, and George Washington used it as a drop-off place for messages during the Revolutionary War. At some point in the 1800s, it became an industrial island used to build ships. Now, it's just another one of those abandoned islands where nature has reclaimed it for itself. Again, nothing to see here but a bunch of birds and piles of bird poop.
You know the name? Now play the game. MCG Arena is your gateway to the sea.
Number 4 and 5, Hoffman and Swinburne Islands. Can't mention one without mentioning the other. Hoffman and Swinburne Islands are 2 diamond-shaped man-made islands that sit in the shallow waters right off of South Beach, Staten Island. The islands came to be after an outbreak of yellow fever in Staten Island, where the residents burned down the quarantine hospital on mainland Staten Island. They blamed the local quarantine hospital for the outbreak and demanded that the city get those sick people off their land. Therefore, both islands were constructed from landfill in the 1870s and became the quarantine stations for incoming immigrants with contagious diseases such as smallpox, yellow fever, and cholera. Those stories you've heard about immigrants arriving in America in the late 1800s weren't always so dreamy. There were many that never even made it to Ellis Island. Instead, they were pulled off the boat by doctors and inspectors before the boat was even allowed to dock in New York Harbor. Those who were suspected of illness were whisked away to Hoffman Island for observation. And those who were obviously sick were sent to Swinburne Island, where they had a hospital bed, a morgue, and a crematory waiting for them. And no, you weren't sent there for treatment. At the time, there was no treatment. You either miraculously healed on your own, or they waited for you to die. The adults and children who ended up on these islands saw a pretty morbid ending, both to their lives and their dreams for coming to America. Today, both Hoffman and Swinburne Islands sit barren, deserted, and the vibe on both islands is a perfect reflection of their morbid past. Whatever crumbling structures that were left standing have been washed away by Hurricane Sandy. And, as with many of New York City's lesser-known islands, they are left for the birds. Number 6, Prause Island. This is another nature preserve off limits to humans. Prause Island is an island that sits between the west coast of Staten Island and Linden, New Jersey. In the 1800s, it used to house farms that grew salt hay for animal feed, but that was a long time ago, and the island has returned back to its natural state with no plans for development. Ain't nothing going on but just a bunch of birds mating. So if you're a huge bird watcher, great, you can watch them from a distance, because you still don't get an invitation. Number 7, Isle of Meadows. Just below Prause Island is another no humans allowed island off the west coast of Staten Island. The city once planned for Isle of Meadows to become the next sanitation dump, but for some reason, it never happened. And so again, there's nothing to see here, folks. Just another island left for the birds. So let's just keep it moving. Number 8, White Island. White Island, also known as Mau Mau Island, is a natural oval-shaped island that sits within Marine Park, Brooklyn. You can catch a glimpse of it as you zip across the Belt Parkway. This former dumping ground has recently been cleaned up and renovated and is now, if you guessed bird sanctuary, I'll give you $1,000 for being so wise. What's cool about White Island is that even though it's off limits to humans, the Parks Department will offer free canoeing and bird watching trips to the island from time to time. All you have to do is register through their Urban Park Rangers program for the chance to win a free outing during the warmer months. Number 9 and number 10, North and South Brother Islands. These are a pair of small islands that sit in the East River between the Bronx and Rikers Island. They're brothers, so you can't mention one without the other. Both islands are currently uninhabited, but they both have a colorful past. North Brother Island was once home to a smallpox hospital and other quarantinable diseases. In fact, Typhoid Mary was confined there until she died in 1938. It was also a facility to treat teenage drug addicts through the early 1960s. Over the years, the city has considered a variety of uses for this island, but till this day, they still can't make up their minds. And so the island and its old buildings still sit lonely, abandoned, and off limits to the public, with access given only to the birds. South Brother Island was the city's first dump. It was the place where garbage, manure, and animal carcasses were sent to help keep the city clean in the mid-1800s. However, since the island was not too far from some very wealthy country estates in the Bronx and other villages in Queens, the dumping had to stop. Today, the island is just another one of those nature sanctuaries inhabited by none other than wildlife. Both islands are managed by the Parks Department and the Bronx Zoo. Number 11, Hart Island. If you stuck around this long, we finally arrived at an island with human residents. The only thing is, they're not alive. Located in the Long Island Sound, just a short distance away from City Island, Hart Island has been home to the largest tax-funded cemetery in the world. This is the place where the bodies of New York City's poor, New York City's unclaimed, or New York City's unidentified are laid to rest in unmarked or mass graves. Every year since 1869, approximately 1,500 coffins are buried on Hart Island. The burials are performed by paid Rikers Island inmates and monitored by correctional officers. Currently, family members of the dead, as well as the public, are allowed to visit the island by applying through New York City's Department of Correction. And access to Hart Island is strictly regulated and by ferry only, which you can catch at the dock in City Island.
Yeah, so you see, I didn't even know about all those islands, man. It's crazy. And there's more. Those are just 13 that people don't really know about because they're inhabitable. Salute, Black Action Live. So, because they're inhabitable, nobody can go there. But it's just like those places were stuck in time. Now, I was looking at the video the other day. Remember when I showed y'all the video and it showed you how they had bullet holes, all types of stuff going on in the walls and the windows was broke and all that? Well, this video shows already that the people did that when they was revolting about how they was letting some people go from there out into the across the water, and they were infecting people. And then they was talking about what you call it? They was talking about Typhoid Mary. So here's a female that was a cook. She was a cook in Manhattan, and she infected bad people because she could carry it, but it won't affect her. So she can carry it and give it, but her herself, she's good. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. So they got her off New York Island, period. Off the island. They sent her over there, and that's where she had to stay. She wasn't allowed in New York or anywhere else around the world. They kept her quarantined on that island, in that building. You see what I'm saying? So now, and Hart Island, as you saw, Hart Island, they strictly got that as a big, giant burial ground. You know what I'm saying? As a big burial ground. So I'm looking at it like when they was talking about the quarantine thing. That's the only solution I see. Is if they were supposed to take the infected people, because like Jay Boogie said earlier, he said, yo, okay, if you bury them, you're still burying the virus and still contaminating the dirt. Yeah, I saw that too, Lucifer Brim. That's a good one right there, because I saw that this morning. Governor Cuomo did say that. It's starting to mutate. There's strains that only animals can get, but humans can't get. Venezuela said, did you know downtown Manhattan was Indian burial ground? That's why when sold, the Indians didn't think it was a big deal. It was a cemetery to the Indians, but not to the people who were on the land. Oh, I see Frank's getting thrown. What's up? Who got hit with Frank's? Somebody got hit with Frank's up in here. They hungry early in the morning? Yeah, but yes, some tigers in the Bronx Zoo got it. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? E-Dog said their whole goal is to get the masses scared and get the masses to start speaking about this and putting energy into it so it can evolve to the stage that it needs to get to. Wow. What I found the coolest was you get a job at Rikers burying cats. Word? After martial law is in place, they will start unleashing new laws and new sanctions, forcing us to show ID before we go to grocery shopping for cents. Maybe they can't give it, but we can infect it, but we can infect them. Yeah, that's what happened with the Typhoid Mary. Now imagine, her story is unique because this is a story of an individual that was just like anybody in the street that had a virus that they didn't have a way to cure, and they couldn't keep her anywhere because she was a threat to the community, to society. So they got her, they banned her from the island. Period. You see what I'm saying? They banned her from the island. Yeah, I remember when they was doing the eye thing on E-Dog. I don't know if they still doing that, but they used to do this thing where you should look in the eye and they take a and they ID you by the retina. But it just so happened that when I came through and they did that, I had contacts on. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. I mean, the Typhoid Mary story is what intrigued me the most. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to really understand, because if you look, why you think New York and California got hit so hard? Because the docks. You know what I'm saying? The docks, yo. The docks. We get so much coming in here from around the world that with that comes what they bring. So back then, now imagine, you see now how there's more rights and stuff like that. Look how they did it back then. You didn't even dock on New York if you look sick. If they checked you out and they saw that you wasn't good, you're going that way. You're going to the island. Walter Carrera, what up? What up, baby boy? Oh, cat upstate by me yesterday was first day of testing and 35 cases already. Yeah. In the supermarket that I usually go to, somebody got hit in there. They shut it down for a second. I think they're going to open it maybe today or tomorrow, but that's crazy. Carlos Hernandez, what's good, baby boy? Yeah, you contaminate the water source and it shuts down everything. Yeah, you know how we know that steam kills it. I mean, I don't even think it would be safe to drink the water I drink bottled water anyway, but I don't even think it would be safe to mess around and play games, yo. Once we see military on the street, that's when you know it's only a matter of time. Yeah, I heard they got tanks and all that down there. Yeah, it's about to get real. It's about to get real right now. You know what I'm saying? That's where people need to really concentrate on. Jason Orozco. Man, we don't talk about pedophiles, rats, and I feel you what you're saying because I've been getting that question a lot lately. But them dudes, rats, pedophiles, you know what I'm saying? First degree rape, beating up on women, this is crazy, man. I don't even want to talk about them dudes. Ellis Island, Outback. I was, you know what? Ellis Island held a lot of diseases. Wow, I hope your daughter gets better, Ray J. Brujo. Word. Yo, bro, man, make sure she's drinking that green tea. I'm telling you, green tea. You need the antioxidant. It's crazy, yo. Lucifer. Yo, it's crazy. And ginger, that's a fact. I tell everybody that ginger is very important, man. It's like that is a root that was made strictly for to help to give the immune system a boost. Yeah, but you know what they did say, E-Dog? They said that it's going down. The percentages of it is going down. So that's a good sign right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a good sign, man. The good sign is that it's going down. But it doesn't mean that it's going down for good. It just means that it's recessing right now. Remember, there's 7 strains of this. You know, facts, Elvin Williams. Ginger flushes you right out. Yeah, Skunky Monkey. Facts. You know, it's very important, man, that we know about these things. Though that thing with the island, though, bugs me out still to this day. All those islands just abandoned around the city. You know what I'm saying? Edo said this is the last zone. You know, it's a lot of things. You know what I say about that, Edo? There's a lot of things going on, but I try to keep myself in open mindedness because I notice certain things, right? Yeah, it is some spooky stuff, yo. Bro, when you look at those islands, what you see there is time stopped. No lie. Time stopped. Word. Time stopped. It ain't like, it's like everybody just left, got out of there, and just left it like that. There's a historical presence there that you see when you look at those islands. Like you see those buildings, it's all broken up. You see how the plants is taking over. And then there was another one I was watching where the walls was coming down. Now, I don't know if it's because it's on an island and it's a lot of fertile land, but I seen houses up here that were built in the 1800s and they still standing strong. You see what I'm saying? These joints, for example, on Brother Island, I believe they stopped the rehabilitation center in the 1960s or 50s, late 50s, early 60s. But if you look at the building, I mean, we talk about 70, 80, 90, 2000. All right, you talk about almost 40, 50 years, right? But look, the walls are coming down. Ceilings are coming down. You see what I'm saying? So it's weird. You know, for the people that actually went on those islands during the nighttime, because that's when they said that people usually try to go and get up in there during the nighttime, because police boats, unless they flash their light and catch you, they won't see you. And there's no like loading dock over those on those islands, no loading docks. I think Hart Island might have them, but the other one, Brother Island, don't got no loading docks. So you got to put your boat on the side and then climb up to get on the island. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of things happen on those islands. You see what I'm saying? A lot of things with diseases happen on those islands. And those islands has been around us, all around us. And then you got, see, I ain't never been to a medium or minimal or little bit of time. But you got the inmates, they putting dead bodies on the ground, piling them one on top of the other. You know what I'm saying? Salute, Martini B. Yeah, I saw that one yesterday, Sam Dubs. I saw it with the 2 kids. And one of them, their foot went through the steps and they had to go on a fire escape. And yo, that was crazy. because Duke was going on the fire escape. But they don't know if that fire escape is gonna come right down by stepping on it because everything is decaying. Yeah, I seen it yesterday. Trust me, I was doing my research yesterday on all them islands, and there's still about another 15 more that we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm island hunting. That's what I've been island hunting like crazy. Ever since they was talking about quarantine, a lot of people, the coronavirus on these islands. But then that's what made me research the islands. Technically, right now, they can't even put people on those islands. Unless they put them on there by force. You know what I'm saying? Because those islands are inhabitable. You can't live on those islands. I mean, I don't see how. You see what I'm saying? I don't see how you can live on those islands. Yeah, that can you imagine not being able to go to your loved one's funeral? Yeah, that's deep too, right there. You can't even say goodbye. So if somebody in your family is sick, they go in the hospital, you might not ever see him again. You know what I'm saying? J Style 7, salute, baby boy. Yeah, you can't live on those islands. You saw them. None of those islands you can live on. Now that's just what they was. Shout out Church Ave Dam in the building. That's just what they was talking about. They was talking about, the methods that they implied back in the days was actually successful for them, even though it cost lives. Because if you saw in that video, I don't know if you was on there, Church Ave Dam. Facts are who said that about the FEMA? Dizzle before a milli. Yes, I remember that. Mass genocide is heading our way. It probably is, Church Ave Dam. It probably is. But one thing I can say is by figuring out the history of these islands, I think it tells us a lot about our situation now. Because I think that what we're going through, they went through it on those islands on a smaller perspective. You heard? So that's why I'm so interested in these islands, because when Cuomo and them, when they was talking about the stuff with the islands, and I started looking at I started looking to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, word, I know Roosevelt Island, you know what I'm saying? I know Wars Island, I know all these other islands, but I want to know about these other islands that I didn't know. And if you look at them, look, they was holding people that had contagious diseases. They got them off New York. Salute, Dizzle before a million. Appreciate that. April D, salute. Facts. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Maple Zero up in the building. Shout out Maple Zero. Yo, it's crazy, man. I tell you, bro. Serious. That's the reason why I'm doing the history on those islands, man. DC Per 67, what's popping? Because the smaller scale of situations that happen on those islands. If you saw one of them, the people burnt the whole spot down, that's why when you was looking at, I was looking at, I'm like, something had to happen here. Facts. I'm Green Eye Smooth Carrera, Ayo Cat. You start learning how to live out in nature, building fires, hunting, getting your basic skills up. That's a fact. I could go in my yard and do a big fire. You know what I'm saying? And the lake is right there, right in my yard. You know, I just don't mess with the lake right now. I'm mess. Listen, I sit by the lake, but I don't mess with it there. Facts, divine intervention. I appreciate that. St. Mons too, you heard? And that's the reason why I got so interested in these islands. So, you know, my whole thing is like I said, you know, you got to look at it from a perspective that there's a lot of history around us. And now is the time that we got the time to learn about. See, because me, I never been the type of person to just go and say, yo, it's the end of the world and all that. No. I learned that when I read the book 2012. Remember the book 2012? When I read the book 2012, I already knew that sometimes some people conspiratory is just a little way far-fetched. You see what I'm saying? When I read the book 2012 and then 2012 came and ain't nothing happened, I already knew. I was like, some things be true, some things be a little bit overboard. You know what I mean? So I look at it like this. Yeah, the end of the Mayan calendar. So that's the reason why I look at things with more of an open mind. I don't look at it with the doomsday effect. Because the way I look at it is like, as long as you don't come past my door, you good money. See what I'm saying? That's your square. But I am interested on learning about, like, for example, what happened on these islands that they not only just abandoned them, that they just stayed away from them, made them inhabitable. Why they don't want to do nothing on these islands no more? Remember, they got one island off, not too far from Long Island, which was the only island in the United States that did tests with live strains. Right in our backyard. Yeah, Elback. They want to start burying them over there also. Because that whole island is meant as a big burial ground in the water. You know, it's crazy. No good soil, can't grow seeds. Yeah, that's all. You can't grow. I mean, then again, hold up. You see all the plant life on there. Now, can you eat the plant or anything on that island? I wouldn't. You might not ever make it out of there. There's a lot of skeletons in those islands. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know, one thing I learned, man, and it's a good thing that you gotta always keep in mind, is that when you're doing a research or whatever you're doing, you want to try to get to the root. You see what I'm saying? You want to get to the root. Now we already know that because New York and California, and I think one more, China and all, they got big docks where people from all around the world come. People are bringing all these diseases, but now because of the rights, they got to do it a certain way, and it's more riskier now with rights than it was back then when they just said, hold up, you got a lot of bumps on you, bro. You can't dock. You see what I'm saying? You got something, man. You can't come over here because you're going to spread it. And I remember all the little kids. You know, I saw a video with a bunch of little kids on Ellis Island. All of them are dead. All those little kids died from viruses that they couldn't conquer. Serious, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely serious. So, you know, I tell a lot of people like this, man. This is the reason why I like to learn. I about history, about things that happened on these places. Because of the services I work on Roosevelt Island, sometimes they have underground garbage system. It was the highest cost. Okay. Feifei, I used to work on Ward's Island. Oh yeah, Ward's Island's where they have the shelter, if I'm correct. You know, and over there also you have what's called the Hellgate Bridge, right? The Hellgate Bridge is 2 tracks for Amtrak, and the other tracks is for like those trains that are taking material and stuff from state to state, right? And I remember when I was a kid, my 5th grade teacher told me about what under the Hellgate Bridge was a beach. Yeah, it's near Astoria. And it was a beach down there. And the reason they call it the Hellgate Bridge is because a lot of people used to get sucked into whirlpools. Right? So this is something that I never forgot about. And my 5th grade teacher, he gone. And rest in peace to that man, very insightful person. It was a pleasure to meet him and have him as a teacher. But he told me about that. So I did the research on it. And it was kind of hard to get the information. Queen's Finest, salute. It was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to find the information. And then when I found it, I was like, oh, okay. So what happens is that where the Hellgate Bridge is at, under it, the further out you go, what happens is that the channels diverge. The river diverges. So you got one going west and another one going east. So you get caught up in that tide, and it pulls you down. You know, and I remember when I walked past the Manhattan insane place. I was going back there towards where Ward's Island, and I looked and I saw that they built like industrial buildings and all kinds of stuff. But I saw the water. And I saw how the water looked kind of bogged out, like it's going this way and that way. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting to me. I was looking at that, and that really hit my interest. So yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? So right now, those people that are on them homeless shelters, when they die, they send their bodies to a Hart's Island because they don't have nobody to identify the bodies. All right, DC Perk, got you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they send a bunch of bodies over there that are unidentifiable. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm still doing my research on these islands, but I showed you that video today so you can see. None of them are uninhabitable, and all of them have marine and wildlife, but we don't even know those birds is poisonous. We don't know what those birds is carrying on them from eating anything on that island that come from contaminated soil. You know, those are all things that everybody would think about. You know what I'm saying? But yo, hey man, I gotta get up out of here. They calling me back to my job right now. This is crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna end this, man, because I gotta go back to work. But I'm gonna come back on later on so we can continue this conversation, man, because this is a very interesting conversation. He said, when the troops show up to your home, most likely they will administer the test and start separating the family and force vaccinations. And who doesn't agree gets put on a yellow bus. I mean, that's deep right there, man. But that's why people have that mentality, man. Don't cross the square. You cross that square, you're gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So salute to everybody, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. It just called me back to work, man. It's crazy. So I'm about to go back to work or whatever. You know, I appreciate everybody, man. You know, everybody stay safe. Make sure you sanitize. Make sure that you aware. Be careful with ordering out. When you order food from the outside, be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? And let's read about these islands, man. I want to really know about these islands, bro. Everybody pick an island and read about. I want to know the history on these islands for real. You know what I'm saying? I want to go really deep into these islands, man, because those to me are a smaller example of a bigger thing that was coming. Salute.